Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. And if you're new here, welcome. Um, Today, I'm just going to do a little bit of a thrift haul and just show some of my recent finds. So first up is this 1960s Niagara Falls Seagram Tower glass tray. It's not the usual thing I would go for at a thrift store. I don't generally pick up souvenir pieces, but I lived in Niagara Falls as a child and remember this tower as I often saw it in the distance from my home. So when I first saw it on the shelf, I thought it was the Panasonic Tower, and you can see here where it says Seagram Tower and Niagara Falls. Like I said, I first thought it was the Panasonic Tower, as it was later named in the 70s, and that's how I remember it the best, as being the Panasonic Tower. It later became the Minolta Tower, and then I think the Konica Tower. So it's had several names, and I believe it's a hotel now. I knew it was an older piece, though, when I saw Seagram Tower. The tower was built around 1961, and this glass tray is what I would call a quality souvenir as compared to some of the items you find these days in souvenir shops. And when you look at it, it has a 3D effect with the black and white foreground painted on the front, and the blue falls and background scenery are reverse painted from the back, and I'll just show you that. And this is the back with the reverse painting, so you can kind of see what shows from the front through this blue paint here. The framing of the tray has a bit of an Art Deco look, as you can see right here. And I paid $3 for it at Goodwill, and I think it was a great buy considering it's almost 60 years old, or it is over 60 years old, and it has no chips or cracks. So this guy came in a baggie that was hanging on the wall at Value Village. It's a McDonald's Madame Alexander miniature doll from 2002 named Memories of a Lifetime Groom. Again, not something I would normally pick up, but I did see the Madame Alexander tag and originally didn't see the McDonald's part. But it might be okay because, to eventually resell. His head turns, his arms and legs move, and his eyes open and close. And he's wearing a black jacket, black velvet jacket and top hat. And then, tipping him over here. Then he's got his little hang tag here. Right there. And his eyes close, you can see when he's laying on his back, his eyes are closed. I think resale wise, because I'm going to start reselling again pretty soon, make more room for thrift items, of course. I think resale wise, it will appeal to probably doll collectors, Madame Alexander collectors, and McDonald's collectors as well. So hopefully, the bag was $2 and I think 49¢. This is another piece I believe to be from the late 50s to 60s. All research has pointed to a NAPCO product. It's stamped GC Japan, fine china, hand painted. Also in research, I see GC as Gift Craft, which is a Canadian company, but Gift Craft also sold lots of NAPCO products. The stamp on the bottom indicates its age, as it's actually stamped on the ceramic as opposed to a sticker. So there's the stamp right there on the bottom. So the stickers are more modern. The stamp on the bottom also indicates the Gift Craft initials of GC Japan. On this Gift Craft ceramic shoe here, that I showed in a previous video, you can see the sticker that actually says Gift Craft, and this one says Gift Craft Taiwan. It's hard to get it to focus there, but it does say Taiwan rather than Japan. It's a nut tray with the lovely opalescence, gold trim, and lily of the valley painted in it. I paid $2.99 at Goodwill. And yes, I know it's an old lady item, but I'm close to being an old lady and I like old lady things. So this is a 1970s Anchor Hawking Fairfield double-handled candy dish. You can see the handles right there. And here's the pattern. Fairfield was in production from 1972 to 1977, so not a very long run. It came in amber and green, avocado green, and there's also a honey color as well, I believe. Anchor Hawking also adds this flower pattern to most of their pieces at the bottom. I find that to be quite common and a good identifier. There's nothing particularly fancy about the dish. I like the handles and the color, and it's in great shape. It's just a nice piece of glass. I paid $3.99 at my local thrift store find. This set I got at my local thrift store find. I paid $3.99, and it is an Anchor Hawking Swedish Aquamarine chip and dip bowl set. The color on this set is beautiful. It dates to the 60s. I believe there should be a rack holding the smaller bowl, but I'm not certain of that. But I believe there should be a rack holding it like this or up like this so you can dig into the chips and then into the dip. I'm hoping I find a rack in my travels through the thrift stores, just sitting on a shelf somewhere, and maybe somebody else won't know what it is, but I will. Who knows, right? I've seen it described as Swedish modern pattern line aquamarine blue starburst design. I'm not sure if they gave it that long of a name, but who knows. They're in great shape for their age. A little bit of wear in the bigger bowl, and that's okay because I don't intend to sell them. I intend to keep them for my own use. So this is something I found in the trunk of my car that I completely forgot I even had. It slid to the back, and I just found it yesterday, which is too bad because I could have sold this last fall and made a little bit of money. So I'll sell it next year because I plan, like I said earlier, I plan to get back into reselling. I'm not there quite yet. So I'm always on the lookout for these Bucilla felt applique Christmas stocking kits. So you can see here the name Bucilla felt applique. And these kits, they come with everything you need. You can see here at the back, you've got your threads and your embroidery thread, your felt, your beads, your sequins. There's even a needle in there. Everything you need is in there except for scissors, of course, you'll need those. And the felt is stamped with an easy to follow pattern. I made one of these a long time ago, not this particular pattern, but I made one of these kits a long time ago for one of my sons. And when I went back to get more the next year for my other two sons, unfortunately, they no longer sold them and I couldn't find them anywhere. This one is dated 2001. And anytime I can find them for $4 or $5, I pick them up because I easily resell them on either Facebook Marketplace or Kijiji or someplace like that. And I usually get $20 to $25 for them. So just something for you to look out for if you're a reseller, and you might be able to make a little bit of a profit on that. So this piece I purchased at Goodwill for $1.75. It was $3.50, but their color tag of the week was red, so it ended up being half price. I have researched this plate and come up with conflicting identities. I've seen it identified as Fenton, Anchor Hawking, and even Avon. One thing that most agreed on is that it is a daisy and button pattern. So you can see the daisies and the buttons. I think I'm leaning toward Fenton just because that seems to be the most popular consensus of it. I'm quite sure it's not Avon. If anyone watching knows, let me know in the comments. I bought it because I like the fan shape and the pattern. It will make a great addition to my curio cabinet until I decide to sell it. It might even be a snack tray, but it can be used as a dish for pretty much anything. I'm not sure of the date, but I'm thinking 50s to 60s, and that would be my best guess. So this is another baggie find at Value Village. The bag was $3.99. First is what I call a lady ashtray. It's dainty with hand-painted flowers and gold trim, and I just can't picture some big burly man sitting there with his cigarette, putting his ashes into this tiny little tray. It's stamped on the back, Shafford, hand-painted Japan. If you can see right there. It's a little hard to see, but I can make it out because I've seen that stamp before. And I believe it dates to the 50s or 60s. It'll complement my old lady nut tray from earlier. Same type of style. Also in the same bag was this lead crystal trinket dish in perfect condition. You can tell it's crystal by the ringing sound when you tap it. As opposed to glass that gives more of a clunking sound. I don't know who made this trinket dish. I don't know. I tried to Google Lens it and nothing like it popped up, but it's really nice with its handle and the design of the dish and lid in a little bit of a star shape. So you can see there. And then it's got this nice handle to it. I don't know who made it. I can't figure that out, but it's another keeper for now until I decide to sell it. Now this is the piece that attracted me to the baggie in the first place, a 1930s depression glass lid, also known as uranium glass. It glows under a black light. I'll just show you here. I have a UV light handy. You just need a UV light flashlight, and you can see when I shine the light on it, it glows quite a bit here. The pattern is called Baroque. I'm not sure which company made it, even though this is only a sugar bowl lid. I figured that I could eventually come across the sugar bowl that it matches, and you can see the pattern here a little better. I'll just shine the light again. There we go. Or I figured I could sell it to someone who actually needs the lid to their sugar bowl that doesn't have one. I love the glow of the uranium glass, and I've seen online people with cabinets full of, just full of it, all glowing because they've replaced the regular light in their curio cabinet with a UV light. It's really a sight to behold. I would love to have a cabinet like that, and I could go to the antique malls that are around here, and they're probably just full of it, but they also know what they have and they price it accordingly. So I would rather just, find these pieces out in the wild. It takes a long time, but you never know. That's why I always check the baggies in the Value Village, because you just don't know what's in them. And sometimes you find one good piece and you can just get rid of the rest if you don't want it. But it's always worth checking them out. So there's the glow one more time. And thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you'll like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.